Hi there, I'm Jermaine. Today we will review the Buyer Inspection Notice Seller Response, formerly known as BINSR. We are now at our end mark. We typically have 10 days to complete our inspection period. If we have changed this time frame, the new date is in Section 6A of Due Diligence, on line 213 of the purchase contract. We must submit the BINSR to the seller and tell them what we would like them to fix, repair, or replace. At this point, you should have completed all your inspections within your inspection period. You should have hired a general inspector to visit the property and contractors should have been scheduled. You should also have measured any rooms or windows, walked the neighborhood, and investigated anything deemed necessary, as backing out of the contract would be much harder. Once we submit this form, if we back out after this submittal, we have a strong chance of losing our earnest money deposit. After we submit this document to the seller, they will have 5 days to respond to our ask, as identified in Section 6J of Due Diligence on lines 275 to 277. If the seller agrees to everything we've asked for, we can move forward with the contract. If the seller responds and we did not like their response, we have 5 days to decide whether or not to agree to their new terms or cancel the contract and receive our deposit back, as identified in Section 6J of Due Diligence on lines 281 to 284. If the seller does not respond to our repairs list at all, we will have an additional 5 days after their initial 5-day deadline to decide whether to cancel or proceed with the home without any repairs. Just to remind you, the seller can always give credit for the repairs requested. We must ensure we aren't already at our max for seller credits. How we calculate time and days is described in Sections 8H and 8I of the Additional Terms and Conditions on lines 409 to 415. Day 0 will be the day we went under contract, starting on the last date the seller or buyer signed the purchase contract or the signed and dated last counteroffer, if applicable. Day 0 can also start on the day the agent delivers the fully signed contract to the other party. This can occur a day after the signed contract, if the seller or buyer signed at a late hour or a holiday and the agent delivers the fully signed documents the next day or when they are back in the office. Then, this date will be Day 0 and not the contract date. I hope this explainer has helped with a deep dive into this document. Congratulations for getting here. Let's look forward to successful BINSR terms. If you have any additional questions, please let us know. Have a nice day.